Hey everyone, George the Disney Italiano with Abby here in our stateroom aboard the Disney Magic, Abby's very first Disney cruise.
Yes.
And we're already midway through, um, practically almost done with the cruise. But this is our kind of off day. We're docked in Nassau, which both of us have been to.
Mm-hmm.
And once you see Nassau, you don't really have a desire to go back, to be very honest. I always take this opportunity to have a ship day, so we have plenty of time to explore, do some activities, rest, have a little siesta, all that good jazz. But speaking of which, we thought that we would take you around the ship and give you a tour of the Disney Magic.
Yes.
So let's get to it. But before we head out, I just wanted to give you just a little room tour of our room. And here's the bed where all the magic happens on the magic. um, and then we also have, they add these into each of the rooms. Ours is the second star to the right, which plays the melody to the song from Peter Pan, which is really cool. I do apologize. It is a bit of a mess, as all staterooms usually do when you're on vacation, going through all your stuff. And so we basically just had a simple inside stateroom, nothing fancy. We were going to do the veranda, but it ended up turning out more than what we bargained for. So we just kind of just went for the regular stateroom. I love these lamps because it actually is a map. And on the map, it shows where each Disney destination is in the world. And it circles all the way around. But I thought those were kind of really cool. I'll show you what it looks like on that side as well. And there's Abby. And then, as I said, we just come over here. It's kind of like our living quarters. Got a mirror, have our TV. Let me, there we go, our TV. And then we have our bathroom, which where a lot of other magic happens, but not the kind of magic you find very gracefully. So now we're walking through the what I like to call the corridor halls of the ship, which basically leads to all the different staterooms of people on board. We got a good gist of where our room is. After so long, you tend to, like know where your stateroom's at. However, it is a bit confusing depending on which part of the ship you're at, because sometimes you could be on that side or this side, the side that we just came off from. So we are room 6311. We're on deck 6 forward. We usually take the elevators. Sometimes we do take the stairs, but a lot of times when we're on the cruise, we're lazy. So we take the elevators. So we are now on deck 3. Now, when you see the darker blue carpet with the darker walls, you know that you're in the adult section. So you have O'Gill's Pub, and then we have Fathoms. That's where Abby and I played Match Your Mate and Majority Roles. Yes, see, after hours with a martini glass. So, and then to the right of us is the other adult section called Keys. But we're going to go this way. Oh, there's some portholes, excuse me, that you can look out. See, we're docked in Nassau right now. It looks like it's raining. See, but that's the other beauty part of being on a cruise, that it can rain. And yes, wherever you're located, the outdoor activities will be postponed or canceled. But a lot of times they move stuff into indoors, and there's already stuff to do already, so plenty to do. Looks like they're doing some karaoke. And then coming out here is the lobby atrium, which is basically the center core of the ship. this is where we entered in. So here is the Mickey statue, which is the centerpiece. Each ship has its own statue. The Wonder has Ariel. Um, the Treasure has Aladdin and Jasmine riding on the carpet. The Destiny will soon have Black Panther. And then down here you can see Disney Magic. So they're getting ready for the photo ops, which we do utilize a lot. And then you could see the elevators on both sides and the upper decks above it with the grand staircase. Now, even though this looks big, the other ships are even grander. So if this looks big to you, imagine what the other ships look like. Look how high up we are. And then we have, I think Captain Minnie right there is meeting. I think so. I can't really get a good shot of her, but she is meeting there. Oh, there she is. And then right here is one of the entrances to one of the three main restaurants. This is Lumiere's. We've dined in here twice this trip for the regular dinner and also for Pirate Night. Sorry. And this right here is the Port Adventures desk. So if you have any um, ports of call on your itinerary, any activities, or what have you, if you needed to add, change, substitute, any questions, this is where you would come. Right now, there's nothing going on because they usually have it early in the morning. And then over on this side is guest services. Any questions that you have, um, whether big or small, they will take care of it for you. They're open 24 hours. We have more portholes. And then is this another cool feature that throughout the ship, they just have random spots that they have tables and chairs that you could just sit and rest and relax. And this right here is Soul Cat Lounge. This is where they do a lot of like trivia and like little games for people of all ages. And they also play some good music here too. The second out of the three restaurants is Rapunzel's Royal Table. We had dinner here our first night, and then we also had lunch this afternoon. Really cool, really themed. They didn't get to do the little song and dance show that they usually do. And you have some restrooms, and then you have also too, which I find that I love about Disney cruise ships. Is throughout the ship they'll add pieces of art and animation, and they'll actually add more too. Like throughout the staircase, you'll have a different picture or photograph of a Disney cartoon or film. So now we are at deck four aft, which now we're one level above where we were just now. That so we took the stairs. Oh, get this piece of art right here. Yeah, see, as I was saying, they have Disney art practically everywhere, which Again, it's like subtle though. It's not like in your face. They just have it, you know, spread out. Now we're walking into Shutters. This is where you can get all your photos throughout your trip. You can have it put in book form. You could just print them out in photographs, or you could have them on, I guess they could also do it on a USB too. And this is the art gallery, which they have some really cool pieces of art here. Abby Fonstitch. I absolutely love these ones. Now, this is at the time when there was only 4 ships: the Magic, the Wonder, the Dream, and the Fantasy. Now they've added so many more ships to the fleet that there's going to soon to be 13, possibly 14 ships, because Japan is already looking into a second ship of theirs while the first one is being built, and they're financing it all. So I'm for sure Disney won't have a problem with it. Oh, I absolutely love this. Love that piece. Got Mickey and Minnie sitting on the beach, the cruise ship with the sunset. Absolutely love that. And then you have still photos of what would be Castaway Cay, which we are going to tomorrow. And then you have the Disney Magic, Wonder, Dream, Fantasy, and Wish kind of showcased in sand buckets. Hello, how you doing? And then we have more art pieces. Let me see if I can get her. Let's see. Trying to see if I can get. There's Minnie right there. As she's meeting guests. Now, as I said, we are one level up from where we were, so we're a little bit closer to the chandelier, and you could see the elevators. This one's my favorite because I love, well, this one and this one, the midship elevators, because you could actually see through as you're going up. So I thought that's really cool. Oh, that's a cool one. We're definitely going to have to get our photos taken this evening with that one. It's kind of like it's drawn like with chalk. I like that. And then walking down here, this is my favorite way to get to the Walt Disney Theater, because as you're walking down the little hallway here, you can see Walt, and where it says the Walt Disney Theater. So, but beyond this wall, there's 2 entranceways on both sides where you'll see Broadway style shows. And tonight, upon the time of this filming, will be Tangled the Musical, which is one of my all time favorite shows to see on a Disney ship. And then over here we have the merchandise stores, Mickey's Main Sale, and Whitecaps. Now, right now, they're both closed off because while we are docked in Nassau, um, they are not allowed to have the stores open. But once we get back out at sea, they will open for tonight. There is one shirt in particular that I do want to get, and I am on a mission to get that shirt. Oh, and then Minnie's back over there. And then this is the D Lounge right here. This is where they have a lot of kid-friendly family game shows and whatnot. And then here's some of the scheduling right here of upcoming activities and events. Now tonight we're having dinner at Animator's Palette, and right now I think they have the area kind of closed off for some reason because we can't get to the entranceway. So they're probably just preparing stuff for tonight. So we are now on deck 5. We are yet another flight up. There goes Minnie. She's leaving. That is Daisy. I love getting the different perspectives of like each deck that you're on, the layers. When you're down there below and you look up, and now you're up here, your eye level to what you were looking up to, but then you look down, you get that grand staircase and what have you. And then right here is the Oceaneers Lab. This is where the little kiddos go and have some fun. They leave their parents behind, which a lot of times they're very happy to do so. And again, you have more seating. And then this is the Oceaneers Club. Again, another area for young kids. We have different posters here. And then it's a small world nursery where you can drop off the littles. The littles. Oh, and then right here is the upper part of the Buena Vista Theater. They play a lot of first run Disney films, such as the new live action Lilo and Stitch and Marvel's Thunderbolts. Smells good right here. You could always smell like the popcorn. Yeah. For which is not included, folks. That was like the surprising part of it all. We are now up at deck 9, which is pretty much the tippy top of the ship. This is Cabanas. The entranceway is in there. That's where they have breakfast and lunch in a buffet style. Do they have dinner?
I think so.
Okay. And then we're going to go out here because this is the pool deck. This is the other entranceway into Cabanas. So it is pretty wet because it was storming. But this is like the Aqua Lab for the little kiddos to play in. You got the Mickey slide, and then you have the funnel right there. And then also out here is where you have the Frozone treats, the little outdoor lunch areas. And one of my personal favorites, you get your self-serve ice cream. Yes, and Abby's like, we're already right here, so we're gonna get it. Let's see which one she's going for. Strawberry.
Just a little one.
Just a little one. Just a little top off. And then on this side right here, you have Pinocchio's Pizzeria. You can get some pizza. And you also have the Funnel Vision, where they play Disney movies all day long, morning, noon, and night. And Ratatouille's playing right now. One of my all-time favorite Pixar films. This is Edge, one of the areas for the teenagers. They have Edge and Vibe. And we're going to go inside. We are back inside here. I'm going to switch to the other side. The Cove Cafe. And then this is the adults area. And this is the Cove Cafe. This area is reserved for adults 18 or older. You have the adult pool, the jacuzzis. You have an open bar over there. And then if you have smokers in the family, they do have a small smoking section away from everything else, which I think is really cool. Going in. And as part of the adult section, you have the entranceway to the Senses Spa, which we've been there quite a few times, especially me. Had a scalp and facial and shave and mani-pedi, the rainforest room, all that good stuff. And I love the little sit-down nook right there. And then up here on deck 10 is the signature restaurant of the Disney Magic, Palo. It is more like an upscale kind of Italian cuisine. Very good food. Very, very good. And it is an extra upcharge, yes, as Abby reminded me. It is not included with your vacation cruise package. Also, you need to book reservations ahead of time. By the way, folks, on our way up to deck 9, we were with another couple that was getting off on deck 6, and the elevator actually ended up stopping. We actually had a call to have like someone answer the emergency button, but as soon as they did, it actually skipped deck 6 and took us all up to deck 9, and they ended up just taking the stairs. But in case of an emergency, when you are on an elevator, just press that emergency button, they will answer. So I want to thank you all for joining us with this tour of the Disney Magic. Of course, there's so much more on this ship. We basically just took you to the main highlights of the ship. Majority of the rest is the decks with all the staterooms in it. So I don't want to disrupt or disturb anybody, you know, passing through. But they all pretty much look the same, like of the, as I said, what I call the corridor halls of the ship. We're actually right outside of our room, 6311. And again, I want to thank you all for joining us today. As I always say in Disney Italiano fashion, stay safe, stay healthy, stay Disney. Italiano out.